This is the story of the woman who learned to see through mirrors. There was a woman who worked as a healer in a small mountain village. Every day, people came to her with their pain, seeking remedies for their ailments and comfort for their troubles. She was known for her gentle nature and patient listening, but over time, something began to change within her. The constant exposure to others' suffering was wearing her down. Each day brought new challenges. Angry patients who blamed her for their slow recovery. Worried families who questioned her methods. Desperate people who demanded instant miracles she could not provide. At first, she absorbed every criticism, every harsh word, every expression of frustration. She began to doubt herself. Maybe she wasn't skilled enough. Maybe she was letting people down. Maybe their anger toward her was justified. She started losing sleep, replaying conversations where people had been upset with her. She questioned every decision, second-guessed every treatment, and felt responsible for emotions that weren't even her own. One particularly difficult day, an elderly man came to see her. His chronic pain had not improved despite weeks of treatment, and he was furious. "You promised you could help me," he shouted, "but I'm still suffering. You've taken my money and given me nothing but false hope. You're either incompetent or you're a fraud." His words cut deeply. She felt her heart racing, her hands trembling. All her worst fears about herself seemed confirmed by his angry accusations. But then something unexpected happened. As she looked at his face, twisted with rage and pain, she suddenly saw something different. Behind his anger, she glimpsed his terror, his fear of being helpless, his desperation to find someone to blame for his suffering. In that moment, she realized something profound. His anger wasn't really about her at all. It was about his own pain, his own fear, his own feeling of powerlessness. She was simply the nearest target for emotions he couldn't bear to feel. She thought of her grandmother's old saying, "When someone shows you anger, they're showing you their pain. When someone shows you criticism, they're showing you their insecurity. When someone shows you judgment, they're showing you their fear." For the first time, instead of absorbing his emotions, she simply witnessed them. She saw his anger as information about his inner state, not as truth about her worth. "I can see how much pain you're in," she said quietly. "And I understand your frustration. Your suffering is real, and it matters." Something in her tone shifted the entire encounter. The man's rage began to soften. His shoulders dropped. His voice became quieter. "I just hurt so much," he admitted, "and I don't know what to do anymore." In that moment, she understood a truth that changed everything. Other people's emotions are like mirrors reflecting their internal world back to them. When they direct anger, criticism, or judgment toward us, they're not describing us. They're revealing themselves. A person who feels powerless will try to make others feel small. A person who feels afraid will try to make others feel fearful. A person who feels unworthy will try to make others feel inadequate. But these projections only become our reality if we choose to accept them as truth about ourselves. From that day forward, when people brought their anger or frustration to her, she learned to ask a different question. Instead of "What's wrong with me?" she asked, "What's happening inside them?" This shift transformed not only her own well-being, but her ability to truly help others. When she stopped taking their emotions personally, she could respond with genuine compassion instead of defensive reactions. The Buddha taught that we are not responsible for the first thought that arises in our mind, but we are responsible for the second thought and every thought after that. Think about times when someone's anger, criticism, or negativity has deeply affected you. In those moments, you experienced their internal state as if it were truth about you. But what if their emotions were simply information about their inner world? What if their anger revealed their pain? What if their criticism revealed their insecurity? What if their judgment revealed their fear? This doesn't mean their behavior is acceptable or that we should tolerate abuse. It means we can respond from understanding rather than reactivity, from strength rather than victimhood. When someone is drowning in their own emotions, they often try to pull others down with them. This is not a conscious choice. It's a survival instinct, but we don't have to drown with them. We can remain on solid ground, offering help if appropriate, while maintaining our own emotional stability. The woman in the village discovered something profound about human nature. People in pain often hurt others not because they're malicious, but because pain seeks company. Misery truly does love company, not out of cruelty, but out of a desperate need to not feel alone in suffering. When we understand this, compassion becomes possible even in the face of hostility. We can see the wounded child behind the angry adult, the frightened soul behind the critical voice. This understanding doesn't make us passive or naive. It makes us wise. We can set boundaries without building walls. We can protect ourselves without attacking others. The Zen tradition speaks of being like water with difficult people. Water is soft, yet nothing is stronger. It doesn't fight against obstacles. It flows around them. It doesn't absorb the qualities of what it touches. It remains itself while adapting its shape. When someone brings you their anger, you can be like water, present, responsive, but not reactive, clear about what belongs to them and what belongs to you. Tonight, as you reflect on interactions that have disturbed your peace, remember the healing woman and her mirrors. Can you see past the surface emotions to the pain beneath? Can you recognize that when others project their internal states onto you, they're offering you a gift of insight into their inner world, not delivering truth about your worth? The Buddha said, "Understanding is love's other name." When we truly understand that others' emotions reflect their inner landscape, not our value, we become free to respond with wisdom instead of wounds. You are not responsible for healing everyone's pain, but you are responsible for not absorbing it as your own. You are not required to carry others' emotions, but you can witness them with compassion. In seeing clearly what belongs to whom, you discover your own unshakable center. And from that center, you can offer genuine help to a world full of people learning to heal their own mirrors.